Yes, there's more to the Wimp story. I took some creative license in the first video by stating that we ran back to the truck. In all honesty, I was tired when editing the video and it was way too long. So I cut out parts and abruptly ended the video. Who knew you'd like it? I assumed you would just smile at the silly visitor and declare me a wimp, though some of you have. If you haven't watched the first video, pause, go watch it, and come back so that this makes sense. So yes, there's more to the Wimp story. Wait, I need the Storytime rope for this. As you recall, the driver parked the truck and asked us to close the windows to prevent baboons from stealing our stuff. I didn't want to admit it, but the idea of a herd of baboons descending upon our vehicle was a tad unnerving. Who wants to admit that they'd be scared of a herd of baboons? But the way the driver stated it made it seem inevitable that the baboons were on their way. I'm now wondering, why are we leaving the truck if the baboons are coming? But anyway, we secured the truck and walked into the souvenir shop. It was completely empty of customers and shop attendants. There were no lights on and it was extremely dark inside. All the souvenirs were left on display. I joked that perhaps the items were complimentary and their way of saying, welcome to Kenya. Anything to take away from the tension building up. At this time, our driver had disappeared out back. After a few minutes of fumbling around the dark shop, we too walked out back expecting to see our driver. Instead, we found a few structures that looked abandoned. This was an eerie feeling. The structures looked to be sleeping quarters of some kind. I don't know if it's true or not, but one of you said that we were in an active kill zone because a hyena was eating an animal carcass of something that was likely killed by another animal close to where we were. We wanted to see our driver because none of us wanted to head back to the truck to face the hyena without the driver to unlock the vehicle. We just wanted to get back into the truck. Keep in mind, these living quarters were detached from the shop and much closer to what I now know is the crocodile-infested river. It's important for you to understand why the whole crocodile concern of them walking on land seems real to me and therefore unnerving. Have you ever seen the video of the Florida woman who woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and instead found a giant alligator in her kitchen? I encourage you to watch it. Yes, technically they're different reptiles, but to me, crocodiles and alligators are all the same. And there is nothing you can say to make me less scared of them. They might as well be dinosaurs. The idea of waking up to find an alligator in my kitchen is the most terrifying thing I can imagine. Hopefully you'll give me a pass on that one. So now back to the story. A young man appears out of nowhere. You know the rest. Still with me? We didn't run back to the truck. We actually ran back to the souvenir shop. Remember, because the truck was locked. If you listen closely, you can hear me out of breath as I tried to appear calm while filming.
Why did you should close the door?
We're back inside the shop, and this time, the lights are on, but dimly lit. The main attendant was now present. He begins showing off all the creatively designed items in the shop. But at this point, I am not interested in buying anything. In my mind, I just escaped the lion. I want to leave. I just want to get inside the Land Cruiser, lock the doors, and enter the safari park, which in all honesty actually seems safer. We walked to the far corner of the shop looking for items. This was the darkest and also the most windy for some reason. Then suddenly, dozens of bats flew to the ceiling. Why? Really? Bats? I can deal with a single bat, but a dozen bats? Why are there a dozen bats in a souvenir shop? I fought a bat once before, and to do that, I put on a winter coat with the hood on, winter gloves, and a baseball bat. But this time, there were dozens of bats flying around under the tables between our legs and up to the ceiling. Like, why do I need to avoid bats while buying souvenirs? Seriously, as an American, this is just too much to handle for one morning. And we haven't even entered the park yet. So when I say everything about Kenya is next level, I truly mean it. Had all of this happened gradually, I'm sure I would have rolled with it. But no one prepared me for this pre-safari adventure. No joke, I immediately bought a Masai Rungu to use as a weapon, and I carried this with me for the rest of the day. In the first Wimp video, I said that I dodged hyenas, crocodiles, and lions. But I guess I should add baboons and bats to that list as well. If you haven't seen the first Wimp video, I encourage you to go watch it now. And if you like the content, like and subscribe.